right, welcome everybody to your last Vinyasa class for the week. We have been working with play, the aspect of play in the classes, trying to evoke that feeling of being open and curious and really lighthearted in your approach to all of the shapes that we come into. So I want you to continue with that intention in the class today. And we will continue to work with eagle pose and headstand. So like I always say to you, every day that you show up on the mat is different. If you feel like you really want to give things a go today, go for it. But be honest with yourself if your energy is a little bit low and you need to peel it back. Although we are focusing on evoking playfulness, it is still an absolute priority to try to come into these more advanced poses with a feeling of control at the same time. So playing around with the stages and knowing when you may be losing that feeling of having some control within the pose, you're losing your strength probably. Is a good idea to stop at that stage and then play around from there. So I will give you different steps to work within each of the shapes or the harder shapes that we come into, and it's up to you to decide where you want to get off. Okay, so come to lie down on your back, bring the soles of your feet together, let your knees go wide out to the side. Shall I spin the other way? And take the arms nice and wide away from your body with the palms facing up. I'll apologize now, I'm wearing a microphone and pregnancy has me breathing heavily, so I'm sorry if my breath's going to sound heavy. Hopefully it's not going to be too bad while I'm practicing. But anyway, you can use the loudness of my breath to help you to stay in tune with your breath. Start to take a nice circular breath in and out of the nose. Circular meaning that you don't pause between the in and the out breath, you just keep it moving. Try to fill up the whole capacity of your lungs, expanding the belly, your ribs, and the chest. If you need to come out of Supta Baddha Konasana or butterfly pose before I say, you can take your legs long. Otherwise, keep them there, and I'll ask you to squeeze your butt cheeks firmly for like 2 seconds and then relax them, and do that 2 more times. You should start to feel the joint of your hips start to open up a little bit more. It just encourages the hips to give a little bit more. Squeeze and then relax. And then go ahead and come to stillness again. Pick up your hands, take them overhead. We're going to stretch the arms. You might even like to clasp hold of your elbows and reach the elbows away. You'll feel your armpits kind of lift up and out. And then we'll pick up the knees. You can use your hands if you need to, help you to support you come out of that shape, and then we'll extend the legs up, out nice and long in front with the heels still on the floor. And then go ahead, extend your arms if they're not already. Reach the fingers away from the toes. And we'll hug the knees in towards the chest. You're welcome to gather your forehead towards your knees as well if that feels nice. I personally don't like that so much, but it is always an option. And then extend your legs up nice and straight. We're looking to stretch open the back of the hamstrings. So this is definitely something that needs to be nice and open for us to make our way into a headstand. So we're going to really look to focus on stretching the calves and the hamstrings throughout the class to prepare us for that end part of the sequence. As you pull your legs in, can you keep your tailbone resting down on the floor and then point and flex your toes a couple of times? You'll feel the sensation of the stretch change. And then we'll use the hands to guide the legs out into a nice wide V, getting into the inner seam of the legs. Feel the backs of the arms, the shoulders rest down nice and firm on the floor. You may pull the legs a little wider, and then same thing, tailbone resting down, and point and flex your toes a few times. And then we'll come into a bridge pose just to activate the backs of the legs. So we've stretched the legs, now we're going to start that activation process. Heels nice and close, touching with fingertips. Place the hands down beside the body. Press through the heels to lift the spine up. And when you're at the very top, squeeze the legs together but keep them apart. So imagine there's a block in between your knees, and at the same time drag the feet towards you. Feel the hamstrings switch on. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, lower yourself down. Hug the right leg in, extend the left leg long. Good. So back of the body rests down onto the floor while we take a twist. So both feet pulling in towards you in that flexed position, and then use the left hand to guide the knee over to the left. Spread your right arm out nice and wide at shoulder height, and try to keep your right shoulder nestled down to the floor. At the same time, feeling nice and heavy through that left knee. If your knee's looking quite lifted up off the floor, sometimes it can be helpful to just pick up the left side of your body and try to drop down on the left hip so that you can get a really nice spinal twist. But careful not to force anything, particularly the low back. Nice breath into the right side body. You've got 3 more. And then lift the knees back in through center. You can give yourself another little squeeze, and we'll come straight to the other side. So right leg long, flexing both feet, pull the left knee in. Try to keep the left shoulder down as you guide the knee over to the right, rolling onto the right side of your body. Three more breaths through the left rib cage. Knees come back in. Cross at the ankles. Option here to rock and roll up the length of the spine. Swing the feet behind you and then forward up onto sit bones. A couple of times. And while we've got the feet crossed, we might as well just get into the hips a little bit. So I've got my right foot in front of my left. You don't have to swap, just be mindful of which foot is in front. And then we're going to fold forward to feel a stretch for the hip, for the leg that's in the front. If you are quite open through the hips, remember that you can stack the shin bones one on top of the other into king pigeon, but that can be quite full on first thing, especially if you're doing the class in the morning. Next breath, walk yourself back up. Place the feet on the outer edges of your mat nice and wide and just knock the knees from side to side a couple of times. And we'll come into this seated pigeon pose, or cross-legged. Left in front if you had your right before, or vice versa, folding forward. And again, if you took the shin one on top of the other for a little bit more, you can take that now if you haven't already. Stay for another couple of breaths. Walk the hands in. Roll on top of the knees. A tabletop position is where we're headed. So playfulness happens in yoga within proper alignment. So always check your alignment. Stacking the joints one on top of the other, shoulders on the wrists and hips above the knees. We're going to reach the right hand up and then exhale through, thread the needle to the left. Inhale, reach the right hand up, keep pressing the left hand firm, and then exhale, threading through. Do that one more time, reach up. This time, place your right arm down, place the right side of the head down. And as you reach the right arm away from you, you're welcome to reach the left hand forward, up on fingertips, or maybe you'll take a half bind. I'm not sure how this is sounding with the microphone. Hopefully there's not much interference. So half bind back at the left hand, over to the right hip. So if you have taken that half bind, press the back of the hand into the hip to help to open up the shoulders. Hold for one more breath. And then come out the exact same way that you came in. So unraveling, take it slow, reaching the right hand back up, and then placing it down. Sink into your child's pose before we come to the other side. Walk your hands over to the left to stretch out the right side of your body. And then come back through center, up to tabletop position. Core nice and stable here. Inhale, lift the left hand up. And then exhale, thread through. Good, two more. Last one, thread through. Place the left arm, the left ear down onto the floor. Creep the hand forward like you've got a tennis ball underneath as one option, or you can take a half bind, pressing the right hand into the left hip and trying to open up the right shoulder back behind you. Breath in, lifts the hand, unravel. And then make your way into downward facing dog. Take your time. So quite a bit of stretching to start already. You should be feeling fairly ready to come into your downward facing dog quite comfortably. Way forward in through to your high plank. So make sure that you've got your shoulders on top of your wrists and the legs are nice and long behind you, so you're in a really nice strong plank. From here we're going to drop down onto the right forearm with the elbow underneath the shoulder, and then left forearm with control. Hold it here. Again, the legs are nice and firm, pressing away and together. Switch them on. Forearms pressing down, turn the shoulders on. It's like you feel the upper back of your body lift up instead of sinking down. Gaze is a little further forward, maybe towards the thumbs. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the hips down, untuck the toes. Sphinx pose, you can look forward. Lower the chest, bring the arms underneath your shoulders. Child's pose at the back. I remember that I forgot to do one stretch to the left side, so from here we're just going to walk the hands off to the right to stretch the left side of the body. And then head back up into your downward facing dog. All right, so heels lift up nice and high, bend the knees, step or float forward, forward fold. Take a halfway lift, fold forward, press through the feet, rise up to stand, reach tall, and soft through the knees as you press the hips back to fold forward. Halfway lift, hands plant down, step back and take your flow. Downward facing dog, forward through high plank if you want to come with me. Drop the knees, untuck your toes and lower down. Elbows brushing the side of the waist. Baby cobra. Downward facing dog. Good, we'll do one more just like that. Stay for one more full round of breath. And then go ahead and lift the heels, bend the knees, step or jump forward, forward fold. Halfway lift, fold down and rise. Hands draw down, fold forward. Ardha Uttanasana, flat back. And take your flow, downward facing dog if you want to come with me. Wave forward through high plank. Drop the knees, untuck your toes, shift forward and down, chaturanga. Baby or a cobra pose. Downward facing dog. Excellent. All right, right leg high, 3-leg dog. So option here is to slowly walk your feet forward. I might just demonstrate this as a first round. From then on, if you want to step the foot straight through, you're welcome. Come with me to start. Right leg high, 3-leg. Rise up, left tippy toes. Place your right foot forward, halfway. And then float your left leg high. So we're opening up the hamstrings by taking it slow like this. Left foot forward. And then float the right leg high. Good. Place down, forward fold. Take a halfway lift. And then the left leg's going to go back. And then the right. All right, so left leg high. Step the foot through halfway and reach the right leg up. Right leg placed down. You might need to take more steps than this, that's okay. Left leg meets the right, forward fold. Halfway lift. Fold down. Left leg back. And the right leg. All right, so let's begin the sequence. Right leg high. Step the foot through. Forward fold at the top of the mat. Take a halfway lift. Fold down. And rise up. As your hands draw down towards your heart, rise up on tippy toes. Drinking birdies where we're headed. The hands shift back, palms face down. And I fold forward over my legs. So not that necessary for the spine to go any lower than parallel to the floor to start. As you're lifting the heels up high, squeeze the legs together, keep them on. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, chair pose. Sink the heels, reach the hands forward or keep them at prayer. So have a look down at your feet. Minor hip width apart if you like to practice with the big toes touching, you're welcome. Just make sure you can see your toes, the knees aren't going over, and get nice and low through the hips. Breath in, stay. Exhale, hands draw to your heart. Hook the left elbow over to the right knee and then go ahead and press the elbow into the knee to open up the shoulders out to the right, gaze to the right or maybe back behind you. Look back down, shift the weight into your right foot. Very slowly lean a little further forward, pick up the left foot. We're going to extend it with control back behind, landing in this revolve lunge. Good, nice and long through that back leg. Go ahead and reach your hands wide apart from each other. And then we're going to open up, reaching the right hand back, the left hand forward. Welcome in that intense sensation in your right leg. We can feel the heat burning. Warrior one, lift the hands and plant the back heel down. You probably need to spread your feet apart a little bit more like train tracking. So rather than having the feet close together towards the middle of the mat, opening them out to the side. Out of breath. All right, what's happening with my hair? Hands reaching up, pelvis facing forward. Nice deep bend through that front knee with the knee stacking on top of the ankle. From a solid base, lift the hands even higher. And then we're going to eagle wrap the arms, the right underneath the left. Back of the hands come to touch, or maybe the palms. Breath in lifts you up. Keep the legs firm. Exhale, fold inside the right knee. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, fold down. You've got one more. Good, keep reaching the elbows away, the forearms up. Warrior two, unravel. Reverse the warrior, straighten the leg. A wide leg forward fold, turn the right foot parallel and fold forward. Nice, so enjoy the release. Take a halfway lift. And fold back down. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. One more halfway. Turn to face that front foot. Land the left hand a little further forward from the right shoulder. Supported side plank is where we're going. If you're up for your side plank, you're welcome to take it. Otherwise, the left knee drops down, take the toes off the side, swing the right leg, back and reach the right hand up. Nice. Right hand plants down a little further forward from the shoulder as well. You can take a few rounds of a cat-cow if you like, or come through a flow. Knees are down, elbows brush close lower, all the way to the floor. Baby cobra or cobra pose. Downward facing dog. All right, I gotta be honest. I had this sequence rehearsed and a little bit has changed because I'm in front of the camera. So let's see how I go. I don't have Mandy here to keep an eye on me. All right. Left leg high. Step through to a forward fold. You can take a few steps if you need to. Halfway lift. Fold forward and press to rise up to stand. As your hands draw down towards your heart, lift up the heels. Drinking birdie, fold over the legs. Maybe you'll fold a little bit deeper this time, but no stress. Arms lifting back and away from you. Feel the back body switch on. So really, every shape can be really active if you know how to switch things on. Sink the heels down, reach the hands forward, chair pose. Promise you we won't be holding this long every round. We're almost ready to play. Hands draw in towards the heart, hook right elbow over the left knee, press the elbow into the knee to open your chest out towards the left. Check that your knees are still in line with each other. And then go ahead and spread your hands apart. Look down, sink the weight into the left foot, lean a little further forward, I find that helpful, and then pick up the right leg, shoot it long back behind you. Lunge. All right, right hand forward, left hand back, keep the deep bend. Land warrior one. Spread the feet apart a little bit and bring the pelvis forward. Reach the hands apart, eagle wrap, left underneath the right. Inhale to look up. Legs stay stable. Exhale, lower. Good, you've got 2 more. I'm going to take a rest so I don't breathe too heavily. Warrior 2, open. And then reverse triangle, straighten the front leg. Wide leg forward, fold. Turn the feet parallel, fold over the legs. Halfway lift. Turn to the front this time straight away. Right hand lands a little further forward from the shoulder. Take the same plank you took last time. So support it. Right toes off the side. Reach your left leg high. Or up and back, not too high. And choose how you want to make your way back to downward dog. Cat cow, or you're welcome to take a flow. Okay, so before we come through the sequence again, let's try that forearm plank one more time. Or maybe not, could be another. Way forward through high plank. So this time we'll drop down on the left elbow first. So elbow lands underneath the shoulder. Right elbow lands down too. Make sure the legs are nice and long behind you. And let's hold this for 5, 4, press the elbows firm, the forearms, 3, feel the upper body lift up, 2, and 1, left hand, right hand, downward facing dog. All right, so right leg high. Step the foot through, forward fold at the top. Take a halfway lift, fold down, and rise up. Hands draw down, heels lift up, drinking birdie. We're going to move 1 breath per movement now. Chair pose, sink the heels, reach forward. Hands come to heart hook, left elbow over right knee. Open the chest towards the right. Look down, pick up the left foot, reach it long behind you, lunge. Spread the arms apart, take the right hand back, reach the left hand forward. Warrior 1, back heel plants down. Right arm underneath the left, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. All right, this is where it's going to change a little bit. Reach up, keep the bind. Skandasana, can you keep the bind? If you need to unravel to prayer, you're welcome. Sinking into the left knee, keep the heel as low down to the floor as you can. Reach your right heel away from you. Look towards the right foot. Keep the gaze steady. Whoop. And then we'll release into a wide leg forward fold, just for a couple of breaths. Halfway lift. So this is where it could change a little bit for you. As you walk the hands back forward, left hand lands a little further forward from the shoulder. Supported side plank just like we practiced, or maybe a side plank. Extend the left leg long as you land onto the outer blade, and then take your right foot on top. Right hand up. Can you ignite the lat muscle on the back, on the left, by pressing the palm down firm? Hold for 3, 2, 1, and take a flow or head straight back to downward facing dog. Left leg high. Step the foot through, forward fold. Halfway lift. Fold down. Rise. Drinking birdie. Chair pose, sink low. Hands to heart, hook right elbow, left knee. Look down, pick up the right foot, extend it long back behind you, open the arms, lift the torso, warrior one. Eagle wrap, left arm underneath the right. Inhale, look up, reach up. Exhale, keep the legs steady as you fold forward. Stand back up, torso upright. Skandasana, right knee bend, keep the bind if you can. Good. Gaze steady on the left foot. Press the heel bone away. As you come to wide-legged, can you place the left foot down, lift the hips? The hands are the last things to unravel for a little bit more fire. Take a halfway lift. Fold forward and then turn to the front. Choose your side plank supported or full side plank. Looking to engage the right lat muscle. And take your flow or straight back to downward facing dog. All right, so hopefully you're also feeling really warm. We'll come through the last part of this sequence, adding on just a little bit more. Right leg high, step through, forward fold. Halfway lift, fold down, and stand to rise. Drinking birdie. Chair pose. Hands to heart, hook left elbow, right knee, open the chest. Look down, left leg back, and open the arms. Lift the torso, warrior one. Eagle wrap, right arm underneath the left. Inhale, look up. Reach up, back bend if you've got it. And then we're going to hold the fold here. So edging the fingertips down towards the floor if you can. So no pressure. Watch out for your right hip that it doesn't lean out to the right, that you keep it tucked in towards the middle. Hold for 3, Keep the bent knee deep. 2 and 1. Lift up. Good. And we weren't supposed to unwrap the arms, so right arm underneath the left. Sorry guys. Lift the hands, Skandasana, just like we did before. The left knee is bending. So this is where it's going to change. We're going to add on. Now, option is to release the arms. You might want to have a look at what I do before you go there. We're going to shift the weight forward onto the right foot, turn to face the front of the mat, and then pick up the left knee in towards the chest. We're looking to eagle wrap the left leg this time out in front of the right with the foot hooking onto the back of the calf, or maybe you'll be able to tuck the toes into the inside of the right calf. So wherever you are, balance is the first step. So try to maintain your balance. Look at a certain spot to gaze at. You probably have to look through your fingers. Remember, hands can come to prayer if it's feeling a little too much. If you do have the eagle wrap, reach the forearms up and the elbows up and the forearms away. And if you've got the balance, we'll see if I've got it. You can sink down through the hips and fold forward for the full variation of eagle pose. Elbows landing on the front of the knee. Good. Holding. And releasing into your half moon pose. Right hand lands down. Unwrap the left leg. And we're looking to stack the left hip on top of the right. The left hand can stay on the hip, or maybe you'll extend it up. Feel the intensity of the sensation in your right leg. Try not to make a story about it. Side plank is where we're going. Land the left leg nice and long back behind you. The left hand a little further forward from the shoulder. Side plank, you can take full Vashisthasana. Peace grip the right big toe. Extend the leg up. Hold for 3, 2, and 1. Flow or straight back to downward facing dog. All right. Good job, you guys. Pretty tough, that sequence. A lot of balancing happening. But remember, it's all in a light-hearted, playful attitude rather than having an expectation that you need to do it without any wobbling. So, downward facing dog if you're not there already. Pull up your left leg and step the foot forward, forward fold. Halfway lift, fold down, and rise up. Drinking birdie, you've got your very last round here. Maybe you'll play around with going as deep as you can into your forward fold while you're lifting the hips up, lifting the heels up. Chair pose, sink down. Hook right elbow, left knee, open the chest. Look down, pick up the right foot, extend the leg long back behind you. Open the arms, lift the chest. Warrior one. Eagle wrap, left arm underneath the right. Back bend is here if it's available to you. Fold forward and keep the fold. Good. Feet pressing down firm. Feel the connection there. As you're reaching the hands towards the floor, can you press the back of your body up? Feel a nice stretch across the back. Next breath in, keep the bind, but stand up. Whoa, that is intense. Skandasana, right knee bend, the left leg nice and straight. So we're heading to eagle pose. Place the left foot down. Swing the hips forward and then bring the right knee up in towards the chest. Hook right foot, back of the left calf, maybe inside the left calf, and then sink through your hips. Lift the hands a little higher. If you have your balance, remember we're playing around here, you can fold forward, landing the elbow on top of that front knee. Half moon pose, unravel slowly. The left hand comes down. Take the right leg back behind you. Right hand can stay on the hip if you're feeling you need a bit of help with your balance, or you can extend the right leg up nice and straight, right arm up nice and straight. Good. Pull the right toes back towards your face as you kick the heel behind you. And then we're going to land in a side plank, your variation. Welcome to take full Vashisthasana. Peace grip the left big toe and kick the leg up. Amazing. Last flow here. And then take a rest at the back of your mat. Come to child's pose. So body's very warm now. We've got a little bit more playing to do. Shoulders are activated. We've done some dolphin planks. We've been trying on the side planks, which turns on the shoulder girdle, gets everything ready. Hamstrings are definitely open. So we can have a play around with our headstand. So just take a little more time in your child's pose. Hopefully I'll catch my breath. So this is probably the pose that is most important to know where your boundary is in terms of the different stages that you can take. Have an attitude of play, so lighthearted, open curiosity, but also, be clever about it. There's not really that much point in when you're trying to take an arm balance like this in flinging your legs up, because you're not really helping your core to engage in the way that it needs to in order for you to take this kind of pose in a really controlled way. Because once you've got that control in the air, then you can start to play around. You can move your legs in different ways. Pardon me. Okay, so downward facing dog. Actually, sorry, not downward facing dog. We're coming into a dolphin pose. So forearms on the floor. And I think just for precaution, it's a good thing to grab a hold of your elbows. Pardon me. Just to make sure that The elbows are shoulder width apart. And then go ahead and place your forearms down onto the floor. So, dolphin pose, keep the forearms out in front, but because we're using dolphin as an entry point into your headstand, we're going to clasp the hands like this and rest the hands down onto the floor. So I don't have my palms open. However, that is one way that some people practice a headstand, by cradling the crown of their, or the back of their head, with open palms like this. But I'm going to teach it with the palms closer together because I think that it's just a little bit more stable and supportive. So fingers interlaced, forearms down on the floor, tuck your toes and extend your legs to straight. So straight away I want you to really press down through the elbows, nice and firm. And be mindful that this could be where you play around. So this is step 1. And the way you can play around within this dolphin pose is to just have a go at walking the feet in nice and close. So you might take one foot forward and lean forward into the shoulders, see how that feels. And then you can put the other foot forward. You might be able to take both feet forward and practice coming as close towards your elbows with your feet as you can. So you can play around there if you know that that is your edge. Otherwise, for those of you who are familiar or wanting to try something a little bit more, forearms on the floor, fingers interlace, walk the feet in nice and close as you can. And then you're going to have a look between your feet and place the crown of your head just at the back of your hands. So crown of the head, for those who are unsure, if you place the palm of your hand in the center of your eyebrows and then reach your middle finger back, you'll find the very crown of your head at the top there. So you're looking to place the crown of your head on top of the floor in your dolphin pose. This also might be where you play around. Just getting used to feeling the crown of the head on the floor but placing virtually no weight in it at all. You want to place the weight through your forearms, pressing down nice and firm, using those muscles on the back that we switched on throughout the class. So if this is something that you're feeling pretty confident in and you want to have a go at a little bit more, forearms pressing down firm, crown of the head resting lightly on the floor, you can pick up the right foot and pike. You might even be able to get a little higher onto the left tippy toes and then swap feet. As your step 3. So, step 4, and this is the last one that I will be demonstrating. If you are familiar with headstand, you might already be in it. What I would recommend is that if you want to have a play around, if you're feeling really stable, is to have a go at eagle wrapping your legs one way, holding for 5 to 10 breaths, and eagle wrapping, coming out, in child's pose, and then eagle wrapping with the other leg forward. So at any point, by the way, if you need a rest, you come into child's pose as the counter, and then come back into play if you're feeling ready for it. So the last stage that I will be demonstrating for others who are also looking for a little bit more. So we'll meet in this dolphin pose with the feet in as close as possible, crown of the head on the floor, forearms pressing down. And as you lift up onto the toes, the pelvis is coming on top of the head, and you should start to feel your legs become weightless without much effort at all. So you can start to hover the toes up off the floor by trying to stack the pelvis on top of the hips, pressing the forearms down very firm the whole time. So you are most welcome to pause the tape there if you want to put some music on if you don't already, and have a little bit of a jam with each of those stages that you can take. Of course, the last one being that you'll lift your legs up, but considering you're not here, I'll leave that one for today unless you're really comfortable with it. And once you are finished with play, spend a few moments in your child pose, and then we'll come to lay down on the back. All right, so let's finish off with a little warm down here. We'll go into the pose that we started with at the very beginning of class, Supta Baddha Konasana, or butterfly pose. Soles of the feet together. Hands rest wherever is comfortable for you, on your body or out by your side. So typically at the end of class, the teacher will offer you to come into an inversion. So an inversion meaning any shape really that takes your heart above your head, but I think it's more widely known as bringing your legs above your head, as we were doing with the headstand. So from now on, for those of you who come to my class, whenever I offer time to come into an inversion, you can practice any of those stages that were spoken about together today. But if you do need something more restorative, placing your legs on top of a block or bolster, or you can even make a diamond with your thumbs and forefinger and place your hips on top. And invert by just floating your legs up towards the sky. It should feel really effortless here. So we'll spend just a couple of moments in this very restorative inversion. Of course, happy baby being another inversion, as is shoulder stand. And then release your legs nice and long. The only other thing that I might suggest to you is coming into a twist with the knees over to the right and then the left. However, I'm going to leave that as an option because we have already done quite a lot of twisting, so you might feel balanced, hopefully. If not, you're welcome to just take that now. Otherwise, come straight into your Shavasana, which I will talk you through, and then we'll come up to a seat together. So as you're lying here with the legs spread apart, the feet relaxing out to the side, the arms open, palms facing up. Scan your body for any signs of tension. And see if you can help that part of you to relax and soften now. So you've done all the work that you needed to do to prepare you for this final pose. It's time to tell your body that it can rest. You can let go of all the effort. So that the only effort that you need to put into is towards keeping your mind focused on the here and now. So a good rule of thumb is that your mind doesn't wander off into thinking about the past or the future. You're just staying present with what's happening now. So what's happening now? You're lying here with your body heavy on the floor, breathing nice and slow with control, feeling the energy from the class pulsating around your body. Noticing the sounds, the feeling of the temperature of your room. Noticing the sensation of breathing. Noticing the tendency for your mind or attention to want to wander off, but continuing to bring it back. Just looking at what comes into your awareness and what goes. Take a smooth breath in and a nice long breath out. Gently roll over onto your side and make your way up into a seat. Bring your hands towards your heart when you get there. Bow your head down towards your chest. I hope you have a wonderful day or a restful night's sleep, depending on when you're doing your class. And I look forward to seeing you here at 168 again soon. Namaste.